first covers the Poiseuille's formula for coefficient of viscosity, determination of coefficient of viscosity by capillary flow method, comparison of viscosities and different types of viscosities, and viscometers, and we will be reading with the Ostwald viscometer. The viscosity of a highly viscous liquid we will be determining using the Stokes method for the coefficient of viscosity, variations of viscosity with the temperature and pressure, and we will be dealing with the viscosity of gases, that is Mayer's method and Rankin's method for the determination of viscosity of a gas. So this is all what our content covers for fluid motion. We all know that fluid means gases and liquids. Okay, so the viscosity of a fluid is a measure of its resistance to the deformation at a given rate. The viscosity can be conceptualized as quantifying the internal frictional force that arises between the adjacent layers of the fluid that are in relative motion. For instance, when a fluid is forced through a tube, it flows more quickly near the tube's axis than near its walls because it exhibits a frictional force with the walls, but at the center the speed will be maximum, but at the towards the walls the velocity will decrease. A fluid that has no resistance to the shear stress is known as an ideal fluid, but you cannot find an ideal fluid in reality. Zero viscosity is observed only at very low temperatures in superfluids. So viscosity will be there, which is a frictional force between the layers of the liquid. Viscosity is all the property of a fluid by virtue of its internal resistance, which comes into play when the liquid is in motion, okay, and opposes the relative motion between its different layers, that we already saw about this. So you all know the formula. F is directly proportional to A into dV by dx, where A is the area of the layer and V is the velocity and x is the distance of the layer from the surface. So F is equal to eta into A into dV by dx, where eta is the coefficient of viscosity of the liquid. Thus, the resistant force F is given by eta into A into dV by dx, where eta is the coefficient of viscosity. So we can cross multiply and write the equation for eta. So how we can measure the viscosity is, it can be calculated in terms of coefficient of viscosity, that is the term eta. It is constant for a liquid and depends on the nature of the liquid. The Poiseuille's method is normally used to estimate the coefficient of viscosity, in which the liquid flows through a tube at different level of pressures. So at different pressures you will be testing the liquid and you will be determining what is the average value of that viscous force which the liquid exhibits. So the viscosity can be calculated and we determine it using a term which is called as the coefficient of viscosity. Poiseuille's equation is, when you consider a liquid of coefficient of viscosity eta, which is flowing steadily through a horizontal capillary tube of length L and the radius R, the image is depicted in the next slide. If P is the pressure difference across the ends of the tube, then the volume V of the liquid flowing per unit second through the tube depends on eta, R, and the pressure gradient, which is P by L or rho by L. Okay. So when you are considering a liquid which is flowing through a capillary tube of length L and radius R, and P is the pressure difference, then you can find out that V is directly proportional to eta power x, R power y, P by L power the whole power z. They are equal to some powers of all this. So V is equal to K into, you can put K as the constant of proportionality. And we can write the equation as V is equal to K into eta x, R power y, P by L the whole power z. Now we are writing in terms of dimensions. You know the dimensional values of all this. So you are writing the dimensional values and equating the power of L, M and T. You will get x is equal to -1, y is equal to 4 and z is equal to 1. So when you are substituting the value of x, y and z in the previous equation, you will get V is equal to K P R power 4 by eta L. So experimentally, K was, when they are doing that experiment, the proportionality constant is found to be pi by 8. So V is equal to pi P R power 4 by rho 8 eta L. And this equation is known as Poiseuille's equation. Here in Poiseuille's equation, you are considering the volume is equal to the ratio, and the ratio is substituted in terms of its dimensions, and you are finding the value for x, y and z, and you are substituting it, and that equation is called as the Poisson equation. Okay. Now how we have to determine it experimentally is, you will be having a long burette or a capillary tube is connected to it. You can see here a capillary tube is connected to a long burette, and the burette will be kept vertically, and the capillary tube will be kept horizontally, and the burette will be filled with water or liquid whose viscosity is to be determined, and you have to adjust the pinch cork or the stopper so that the water or the liquid will be flowing through the capillary tube. You have to determine the time taken by the liquid to travel from A to B, 2 points which are marked on the burette. And if V is the volume between the levels A and B, then the volume of the liquid flowing will be equal to V by T, which is volume by time. Then if L and R are the length and radius of the capillary tube which you are using, then V by T is equal to pi P R power 4 by 8 eta. From this equation, you can find out eta because you may be knowing volume and time. The distance traveled and the time we can determine directly. So eta can be calculated from this equation. Thus, we can determine the coefficient of viscosity of water by Poiseuille's flow method. If rho is the density of the liquid, then the initial pressure difference between the two ends of the tube is equal to H1 rho g and H2 rho g. Therefore, the total pressure P will be equal to P1 plus P2 by 2, which is equal to H1 rho g by H2 plus H2 rho g by 2. Okay, substituting this value in the equation, then we will get V by T is equal to pi H rho g R power 4 by 8 L eta. R eta is equal to pi H rho g R power 4 T by 8 L V, where pi is a constant, H is the height of the liquid column, then rho is the density, g is the acceleration due to gravity of the environment, R power 4 is the radius of the tube, T is the time taken to travel that distance of L, and V is the volume of the liquid which is traveling through that. So by knowing all these factors, you can determine eta, that is the coefficient of. The assumption of the equations are that the liquid is incompressible and Newtonian. The flow is laminar through a pipe of constant circular cross section that is substantially longer than its diameter, and there is no acceleration of fluid happens in the pipe. For velocities and pipe diameters above a threshold, actual fluid flow is not laminar but turbulent, and leading to large pressure drops then calculated by the Hagen-Poiseuille's equation. Poiseuille's equation is what we previously saw. There is a small correction made with our addition done in the Poiseuille's equation, and that addition is because there are liquids which are incompressible and Newtonian. Okay, so the flow is also different. That is why we accept a small correction or a modification to the Poiseuille's equation. So Poiseuille's equation describes the pressure drop due to the viscosity of the fluid. Other types of pressure drops also may be there. For example, the pressure needed to drive a viscous fluid against gravity would contain both, that is Poiseuille's law plus Bernoulli's equation. Okay, so small corrections are added with the Poiseuille's law when you are applying it for finding the coefficient of viscosity of different liquids. Another example is when blood flows into a narrow constriction. Its speed will be greater than in a larger diameter, then its pressure will be lower than in a larger diameter. However, the viscosity of blood will also cause additional pressure drop along the direction of flow, which is proportional to the length travelled as per the Poisson's law. Both effects contribute to the actual pressure drop. So you can have the change in the diameter, or along the direction of the flow also the pressure may change. So the diameter change also affects, and the pressure change must also cause the viscosity change. So both effects may be taken into consideration as per the Poisson's law. Viscosity. So why we have to study about viscosity is having many practical applications. The importance of viscosity can be understood from one or two examples which are stated here. There are n number of examples. The knowledge of coefficient of viscosity of organic liquids is used to determine their molecular weights. Also, its variation with the temperature helps us to choose a suitable lubricant for specific machines. In light machinery, thin oils are used, but you need highly viscous oils like grease also in heavy machinery. So the viscosity of the material of the liquid should be known for its application purpose. So only we are studying about the viscosity.